owner of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, also known as the White Knight, fraud is more like it, has helped crash the crypto market this week. He sent shockwaves through the market. FTX is a cryptocurrency exchange. That's why I tell people, if you don't own your keys, you don't own your crypto. Him and his girlfriend of Alameda has basically used Ponzi scheme-like tactics to rob millions of people of their money. Now, the cryptocurrency exchange is filed for bankruptcy, and some people are going to be left with no money. It's millions of people who trusted this guy, and man, has he robbed them of their wealth. That's why I tell people, you should have your own wallet. The whole purpose of cryptocurrency in the first place is to go outside a centralized banking system or centralized exchange, which basically FTX and Celsius was. So if you don't own your cryptocurrency keys, you don't own your crypto, right? This has sent the whole market down. Like Bitcoin has tanked to 2-year lows. Crypto has lost billions in crypto space at all. But CZ of Binance basically tried to step in and help out FTX from basically going bankrupt, and he couldn't do it. He tried. I'm not sure if this was like a play in his book for FTX to show their hand, but basically he confirmed a lot of the practices and stuff they had going on was illicit, and basically these people basically had a Ponzi scheme, and it just shows that this thing is still not over yet. You know, once they start a bankruptcy, they still have a bunch of crypto left that they're probably gonna have to liquidate when the courts try to help them save some of their shareholders or some of their coin holders in this instance. So when that happens, that can make the price tank even more. So this guy right here, CZ of Binance, he's basically seen like a good guy. He has the second largest cryptocurrency exchange in the world, which is Binance. FTX was, but now you can see it's been a bunch of bad news. Crypto crisis continues. FTX, there's so many people involved in FTX. If they are, then they might have some financial trouble ahead. It's a lot of people that's intertwined with FTX and their business practices, and it's causing the cryptocurrency market to tank in price. It's brought down the whole cryptocurrency market, and people are losing. Technical analysts are now estimating that Bitcoin could possibly hit the 13K mark. Remember, the analyst said before it could hit 11K. So it's just something to look out for. I still think it's a great time to buy. Nonetheless, FTX is still spreading. Look at Genesis Lending Company and Gemini. Gemini is owned by the Winklevoss twins, who was adapted to the crypto market a long time ago. They've been around for some time, but they all are a part of the Three Arrow Capital that just went bankrupt this June. Look at who's a part of it. FTX, Genesis, Voria, BlockFi. All these people that's intertwined are taking major hits. And now with FTX on top of that, it just adds insult to injury. Three Arrow Capital is a Singapore hedge fund for crypto that lost $10 billion due to being over-leveraged in the crypto space during this current bear market. Now, FTX and Alameda combined has $700 million worth of Solana. That's why Solana is taking the hardest hit right now. And if you see recently in news, Binance has temporarily suspended deposits of the USDC and USDT on Solana, meaning that they are suspending their stablecoin. So if you're invested in Solana on Binance and you're trying to cash out, you can't do it, right? It's another more bad news for Solana. And the whole reason is due to this guy right here, SBF, who's basically adding more piles of shit to what he already has. Like, he's up here talking about right before the bankruptcy happened, how he has $1 billion in liquidity that he can pay coin holders if they need it. And then less than a day later, he says he filed for bankruptcy. Then he says sorry. Then he said he needs to be more transparent and yada, 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 yada. A bunch of BS. I have zero exposure to FTX. The only time I spoke at FTX is when they was giving out free crypto during Super Bowl. But nobody knows where this guy got his wealth from. And as you can see from when this guy is tweeting or when he's talking, he is full of it. I mean, my BS radar would have went off a long time ago, but I don't really deal with exchanges. So I deal with my own personal crypto wallet, which I highly suggest you guys use. Like I said before, the whole purpose of crypto is to go outside a centralized system, which is like the normal systems, like the banks and stuff, and how they're ran. Decentralized is when it's not systematic, it's not ran by anybody, right? So you need to have your own crypto wallet and your own cold wallet to store your crypto on, because as you can see, these exchanges keep going belly up because you're a third party. They're taking your money, they're gambling with it, and they're robbing you for billions. Like, this company was worth billions. They have an exposure of 10 to 50 billion with FTX going bankrupt. So the bleeding and the crypto is not over. This is this guy Paige. If you lost any money in FTX, go hit him up on Twitter. Tell him how you feel. He has 1 million followers. If I had anything with him, I would tell him how I feel. This is his Twitter page right here. But this guy is so full of shit. I mean, you can just listen to him in interviews. Now that hindsight is 2020, let's listen to this right here.
If we have real pain, if we have like real blowouts, and it's not fair to customers, and it's not going to be good for regulation. It's not going to be good for anything. From a longer term perspective, it's just that was what was important for the ecosystem, is what was important for customers, and it was what was important for people to be able to operate in the ecosystem.
He was basically talking about how bad it would be if the company went belly up like it just did.
Blow them up somehow.
They put their trust in FTX. Like, their money is frozen, the money is wiped out. I mean, it's not the investment that's risky, it's the investor that's risky. Make sure you always do your research on what you're doing and who you're invested in. I mean, he's shooking the whole market. And like I said, I don't think it's over yet, because they still have to go through bankruptcy. They have to listen to whatever the judge say, whether he wants to liquidate whatever the assets they do have left. And if they throw all these coins on the market at one time,
Sam Bankman-Fried.
Check out another one of his
CEO
interviews.
of the cryptocurrency exchange FTX. You may have seen their TV ads occasionally. And one of America's youngest billionaires. And recently he's used that money to become one of the biggest donors in this year's midterm elections. Sam, nice to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Of course.
So let me start. You're the fourth, you may not know this, but you know it now. You're the fourth largest individual donor, essentially, to the midterms for this cycle. You are on a list that includes George Soros, Ken Griffin, Richard Uihlein, Peter Thiel, just below you. Why did you decide it was politics and not something more charitable to spend your money on?
It's a good question. And, to be clear, we have also given, I think, upwards of $100 million this year to
I'm not saying you're not charitable, right?
But
you've chosen to engage politically.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And I think that what it really goes down to is two things. And the first step.
Did y'all hear that? Fourth largest midterm donor. He gave the midterms $40 million with the promise to give more, right? He's basically baiting in the politicians. Don't nobody know where he got his money from. He even pissed off Eric Snowden. Eric Snowden was like, Daniel Hale is suffering a dungeon for revealing 9 out of 10 people that we supposedly killed with drones that were innocent bystanders. Crazy. What Eric Snowden and others were upset about was how the New York Times tried to soften this guy's story up like he wasn't a crook. Like, they basically tried to make it seem like, oh, it wasn't his fault. So people were outraged. Just saying how they basically trying to make this guy seem like he's not as bad as he is. But, they're showing that this guy also has a meeting coming up as a guest speaker with the New York Times. Was Sam Bankman-Fried paying for power? Is that what it was? Is that why the New York Times is adding a little fluff to his story? I mean, he did get the Democrats $40 million. I mean, with promise to give more. Is this one of their connections? How did Sam Bankman-Fried get so much wealth and so high in such a little time? He just started out in 2019. Nobody really knows where he got his money from. They say it's from Alameda, from him trading, but no one really knows. But it's funny how now the Federal Reserve Bank is now teaming up with huge financial institutions in order to create their own digital currency. Things that make you go,